Welcome back to Soulful Academics, where I teach you guys how to budget, save, and invest to build generational wealth. Go to Soulful Academics right now to free dip. Make sure you cop the latest Bitcoin to the moon shirts. Investors were on the edge of their feet today. U.S. stocks fell at the hours after Donald Trump announced heavy tariffs on companies. So we're seeing that, and we were expecting at least a 10% tariff on these different countries. Now we're actually getting at least 50%, as Donald Trump is not holding back, and he's getting a huge amount of tariffs. So we can get the same reciprocal back from what countries are known to us. So if they're going to give us huge taxes on tariffs, Donald Trump wants us to be giving them tariffs back on the same amount, nothing less. We see the S&P 500 lost 2.9%, and NASDAQ fell down 1.4%. Dow Jones fell about 2%. So overall markets is sell-off right now after the markets closed, after these announcements of Donald Trump. And this is a huge sign for us to keep an eye on more, and these tariffs get more to play for the rest of the year. Companies that were getting huge affected by these tariffs, they've seen them after hours falling down a huge amount of percent. We've seen Nike fall down 6%. We've seen Tesla fall down at least 5%. Nvidia fall 4% after hours. Huge gaps down are key signs to look at these companies as buying opportunities. I mean, I know these companies are going to get affected by these tariffs, but long term, it's going to always help out a company just because they're going to get able to charge more of their customers, but they pay more. So it's all going to balance out, but sometimes it helps out the company even more over time if they can increase the demand. Donald Trump says we will charge them half of what they are and what have they been charging us. Let's take a look at the fear and greed index. The market is currently in extreme fear with a 17 out of 100. We see in the past week the market's been in fear with a 27 out of 100, and the past month the market's still in extreme fear with a 20 out of 100. And the past year, the market's in greed with a 72 out of 100. The lower the fear and the more fear in the markets is the best time to buy and invest in favorite stocks and companies. After hours, we see these tariffs affecting Dow Jones and the overall market. Dow Jones is down 2% and it's down $911. We see that while Dow Jones in this correction, today Dow Jones ended up high, but now after hours, we're seeing this reverse pin bar with the candlestick down, going toward the downside. So it opened up. Now we're seeing it going down lower. We can see some more downside towards the markets in the middle of April. I'm starting to see some bottom out, and maybe in the later in the end of the month. But either way, we want to keep buying these companies and these stocks while they're down. Same thing with NASDAQ, overall index of the technology sector. I love seeing this sector fall down right now. This index needs to come down a huge amount more. So if we enter a bear market, that's even more of a blessing, and we can acquire ourselves to start setting us up for generational wealth. Because the people that have already ran up this index technology sector so high the last 20 years, it's time for us to cool off, rinse and repeat, and start us new beginnings. So if we can see this sector fall down more, guys, I kid you not, you guys need to pay attention to these videos from here on out and start buying it and investing, because this would be the best time. This is a lifetime opportunity for us to take advantage of. This can enter a bear market, meaning this sector can fall down at least 30% due to tariffs and economic and fear. Bitcoin had a huge volatile day today, and we seen that Bitcoin was at 88,000 earlier today, and we went back down to 83,000. And we seen that this same move that Dow Jones hit and Bitcoin hit with this reverse pin bar going towards the downside, meaning the open low, it went up high, and ended up going down to this low side again. So that's a huge swing right now with these tariffs. And after the market fell, we see Bitcoin haven't fell down too much compared to its competitors, but it's a great time to keep buying Bitcoin and looking at Bitcoin. Ethereum's at a great price too, but it's currently at 1,800. And we've seen that Ethereum has been in this range for at least a good 3 months. But right now is the best time we can get Ethereum at its all-time 6-month low. And we continue loading up on Ethereum as Bitcoin stays in this correction. And this one is the second biggest market cap cryptocurrency to have in your portfolio. So keep an eye on Ethereum. As always, it's a good one. Keep your portfolio balance and huge growth. Solana for your mama is currently back down at $118. This is a great time for you to buy Solana. I remember I got in Solana was around 120, and it quickly doubled in the same year. So right now, Solana is at a time where if you buy now, later in the year, you will see and maximize your profit or return. While Bitcoin is in its correction, keep an eye on Solana as they release their ETF. Dogecoin is currently back down at 16 cents. And you got to keep an eye on Doge and the Trump meme coin. Those are the top 2 meme coins that you should have in your portfolio towards the end of the year, as these two have the most opportunity to revolutionize cryptocurrency and on the blockchain network. It's one of the first meme coins to hit the blockchain, and Doge has been doing a huge amount of due diligence, cutting out debt inside the environment, and we're keeping money fluctuating in the economy. So keep an eye on Doge, and any tweet from now on from Elon Musk, Trump, it's a key sign that this stock is going to be having huge key technicals in the future. MicroStrategy is one of my favorite Bitcoin stocks to be buying in your portfolio. MicroStrategy is currently at $312 right now, and we see that MicroStrategy was at $365 earlier this week, and it fell down, and we quickly brought it back up to $312. So we're seeing signs of support around MicroStrategy. So if we continue seeing down days of MSTR, we're always going to see a rebound, just because MSTR is in bull market rally right now. So it bottomed out, and buyers are stepping in, creating higher highs and higher lows. As Bitcoin is turning around and it's in the correction, MSCI is still showing great signs of support, and they're buying Bitcoin in the dip right now. So you want to continue buying MSCI and Bitcoin as well. Coinbase is currently at $182, and we're seeing Coinbase fall down to all time this week. It's currently down at $170. So Coinbase quickly shot down to 168 that following day, and quickly rose back up the next following day. We see that hammer candlestick towards the bottom of it here. And you want to keep buying Coinbase, as it has the momentum to push back up as Coinbase and Bitcoin start to bottom out and push back up to 1,000. Coinbase is going to definitely push back up to 350 this year. So we want to keep a call option on this company and to keep your eye on Coinbase, and it has great signs of fundamentals. Every time Coinbase fell 50% in this uptrend that it started in 2023, it's guaranteed to bounce back. So even if you acquire shares and you have an option that has enough expiration date with time and a good strike price, you are guaranteed to profit to pay off some debt. Marathon Digital is another great company to be buying with cryptocurrency stocks and Bitcoin. Marathon Digital is the one that mines Bitcoin, and they accept transactions on the blockchain network, solving algorithms using hardware computers with a lot of graphic cards and CPUs. So Marathon Digital keeps itself in business, and they have Bitcoin on the balance sheet, and I think they're about like 5th place of the most Bitcoins companies that ever bought Bitcoin, and they acquire Bitcoin more and more monthly. So you want to keep an eye on Marathon Digital, as it's at $11. It has opportunity times 3 to go past $30 this year, as it's currently down 60% from its all-time high, and it's currently down at least $20 from its all-time high. So it's actually fell down even more. So it's probably about down maybe $25 about now. And you want to keep an eye on Marathon Digital and keep buying if it's a long cause, because you have opportunity to multiply each contract to get at least a 500% return investment over time. This week we seen some great news for the company Hut 8, the company that mines Bitcoin. Donald Trump's son had acquired the company and put investment into this company so they can acquire more Bitcoin. So now we see that the Trump family is involved into the miners companies. This company is a great one to buy, as it's currently down $12 due to the terrorist fall overnight. So we see that this stock has opportunity to times 3 to go past $35 this year. It's currently down at least 60%. Same thing as Marathon Digital. And we're seeing this nice little bottom out. Every time Hut 8 falls down in the correction like this, it rallies quickly. Once it's bottomed out and in that bull rally, it's just going to keep gapping up as Bitcoin shoots higher and higher. I'm loving where DJT, Donald Trump's social media stock company, 76. And we're seeing that, and it was at least $60, $65 during that time. And we brought the stock all the way back down to $18, guys, within 3 months. And this is a perfect buy zone for us to fill that gap back up. And we're going to see that this stock is going to continue once Trump starts to get his accolades of his tariffs starting putting in effect, that he's putting 50% tariffs on these different countries, and it's actually benefiting the economy with data analytics. All these numbers coming back, boosting the economy. This stock is number one you should keep an eye on, as it's going to be one of those meme stocks, the short squeeze this year and next. Earlier last week, we see GameStop announced that they're going to start buying Bitcoin with the $4.8 billion cash they have on hand. So they had set up a bond offer for them to get more cash with debt so they can buy Bitcoin. So now we know that GameStop has about $1.8 billion left so they can invest in cryptocurrency and blockchain technology like Bitcoin. This is great news for the GameStop company, the one that's been struggling with the last few years of business strategies. They're starting to close down more stores, cut down on debt so they can invest. And you know, that's key ways for a business to be successful is cutting down debt. And GameStop has what it takes to turn this company around and dive into blockchain technology. It's one of my top picks for you guys to have in your portfolio as they go into gaming. And the way gaming is going to eventually evolutionize in the future with cryptocurrency, you guys are seeing it slowly, where you can get rewarded for playing the game with cryptocurrency, spend using crypto, transfer funds using cryptocurrency, challenging each other, creating environments with NFTs. You haven't really seen it yet, but GameStop is really diving into that pioneer right in front of our eyes. AMC is another great stock that's undervalued for you to get in your portfolio, as it's really low for you to get amount of shares and acquire a lot of return the more you invest into it. AMC is currently at $2.75, and we see AMC struggle as a business ever since COVID, the lack of demand for people going to movie theaters. But one thing is, people will never stop going to the movies, and movies will never stop releasing every year. So as long as those two factors play in, this stock is always going to be in demand, and you're going to be going to the movie theater with your loved one and your significant others. This stock is my favorite stock to get, as it has opportunity to turn around as a business model, and it matches the same correlation as GameStop. So this one squeezes. Best believe GameStop squeezing before. Nike is showing great signs of technicals with this huge sell-off that it started in the last 5 years. So we see Nike is now at least about 70%. We're seeing that it has down at least $119 in the last 1,291 days. So this is a great time to buy a stock when it's just been struggling like this. But it has shown history of it profiting with huge amount of returns the last 10 to 15 years. So if we zoom out, Nike all time, it's already high up here. It's still high up here in a straight line. So like, we're not even seeing a real huge correction like that for Nike, because when Nike released like in 1984, we're seeing it was like only 11 cents. So this still is up like at least 1,500% all time. And you want to continue buying Nike whenever a stock is in a correction like this, is where you can enter it so you can start joining the generational wealth that people already acquired back then. Another great stock to have in your portfolio is Reddit. Reddit released an IPO in around 2024, and it quickly started to rise a month ahead of that. It went down to about $37 and rose to $240 the following year. And we're seeing that Reddit is currently down at least 60% and down $127 the last 28 days. And you want to continue keeping the eye on Reddit and maybe put some long calls on this one, as we see Reddit's finally cooling off from that huge rally it started from releasing its IPO. So now we can see what the real price of Reddit is worth right now, instead of seeing all the extra fluff and hype. But either way, it's going to get back hype just due to the loyal fans and supporters of Reddit users and customers. Shopify is another great stock to have in your portfolio, as its demand for e-commerce is just going to rise over time and Wix as well. And those two are the best platforms where people can start building their websites online and using templates. And this stock has a huge amount of growth over time. I can see it going to past $200. And right now we're seeing it down at $91 due to the terrorists overnight affecting this company. And you know, whenever people use Shopify, they have to import stuff from other countries. So that might affect this company as well. So you got to play those factors into effect, that Shopify is going to get affected by terrorists, and they might start seeing demand and decrease of customers, or that this customers is going to get affected with terrorists in general, taxes. So doesn't mean that the company is not going to be valued the same, but it is going to be way more competitive for them. But it's always going to be a good thing for them too as well, since they have ways to increase their profits, margins, if they can use this to benefit them. You see a firm's great price right now is at $47 right now, but they see that firm's always going to be needed in the future, as it gives out loans to people who want to shop online like Amazon or Walmart. And you know, people who always give out loans, the borrower is going to be a slave to the lender. So people who always give out loans are always going to be demanded in the business and always going to be making money over time, because loans is the biggest way for someone to acquire wealth. So them giving people with interest over time and getting that recurring, getting paid. I'm liking where Roblox is at. When we're looking at the monthly time frame with these candlesticks, and every time we see Roblox down for the month, this last month was a hammer candlestick. Down here in about February or March, we seen this hammer candlestick, went down to $50 and it's staying strong around the $61. In the next few months towards the end of the year, we can see Roblox push up to $100. So it's a great price to get right now. As I see it, it's at least down 39% and down $23 from its all-time high this year. And we got to continue riding this bull rally as gaming and the way people spend time on games is going to be evolving over time. We got to take a look at oil prices. We see Chevron is currently down at $166, but due to the tariffs, it fell down $3 overnight. So we're seeing gas is falling down a little bit, but that's not going to stay down like this too long. This month, we're going to see some huge gains in gas prices and oil, as we've seen a huge camel candlestick in the month of March, where gas prices were low that month, and it quickly rolls back up towards the end of the month. So that's signs that whenever we see this hammer candlestick, it's showing signs of strength of buyers. So people are going to be buying gas. Oil prices are going to be more expensive. The demand for oil is going to be higher, and that means the supply is going to be limited. So whenever demand is high, supply is limited, price is going to shoot up. So beware of gas prices going up with this nice little cup and handle formation right here, showing that prices can go up towards at least $200 for Chevron. And I also want to give out the fact that Chevron is a good stock company as well, as it has one of the highest dividend payouts for its investors, about 67% payout ratio. And we're seeing that last payment was about $1.71 a share. So what the people use wealth to get wealthier. So if you can get this and start your wealth journey today and acquire at least half of a share or one a share a month, and then start multiplying, you can get at least $1 every share you have over time. So at about the time you age of 40, you already acquired at least 100 shares of Chevron. And now you're getting at least $100 every quarter of dividend payouts for Chevron and profited from the stock going up. Microsoft is currently down at least $100 from its all-time high, and we see it is down at least 22% in the last 277 days. So right now, I like where Microsoft is at. And you know, Microsoft is one of those stocks that stays real choppy and in the range, but when it's time to rally and buyers step in, the stock just stays consistently growing. So right now it's one of those stages where it's cooling off and in the range. But if we can get Microsoft down to like $350, that would be even better. But right now it's a good one to buy. And you know, Microsoft's paying their investors with dividends worth 25%, 83 cents a share. So it's another one to grow passive income and profit from the stock going up. Google is extremely undervalued right now. It's currently down 27% and $56 in the last 58 days. So as we see Google is starting to bottom out and these tariffs begin to play, we want to keep an eye on Google as we push back up to $212 this year. And it's another one to get passive income on. Its dividends for this company is about 7.46%, and they pay about 20 cents per quarter. And it's not bad for a company, a tech giant like this. TQQ is one of my favorite ETFs where you can buy it long term in your portfolio to balance out with not too much risk but high growth. You see that this stock is down at least $41 and it's down 45% in the last 107 days. And as this ETF starts to bottom out towards the end of the year, you want to keep an eye on this one as we push to $130 this year, and it has opportunity to times 2. And you have the best ETF in the game right here, so you want to continue loading up right now. As QBlock, Cash App done touched a huge level of support today, and we see it stick around to this $57 range. Price was at least $108 during that bull rally in November, and we see it started down 47% to $47 in the last 105 days. As Cash App starts to dive more into blockchain and start adding more Bitcoin to the balance sheet, you want to continue buying this company as it pushes up towards $300, its all-time high. Advanced Microchip is one of my favorite stocks that's very undervalued right now. It's currently at $97 due to the fall of tariffs overnight. And we're seeing that AMD has signs of bottoming out, but we could hit more lows. But that's even better. We can buy it at a better price if it goes down, but you want to hold this one out for years and long term. As we push back to $250 in the next 2 years, we can get this stock because it's currently down 50% and it's down $113 in the past year. AMD's been getting ready to beat up. Those are the stocks you want to pick up at the bottom. Qualcomm is currently sitting at $149 overnight due to the fall of tariffs. we're seeing that the stock is down. The last 286 days, the stock is down 36% and down $81. And it's actually one of the best dividend stocks you can have on your balance sheet, so you can get some passive income, at least about like 80 to $1 a share for this stock right here. And we continue loading up right now as this one dives more into 5G network devices. And this is another one, so you can keep loading up and you can get that passive income from the stock going up in returns and that passive dividend investment. Yeah, I know I couldn't forget about Tesla. Tesla is currently down to $262 due to Trump's tariffs overnight. We can see that the news really affected the stock and it fell down at least 6 to 4%. And as we see Tesla fall down, we want to continue grabbing this stock right now so we can continue pushing back to $500 where the price was at earlier last year in December. Now, as we push to that price, this stock is one you keep an eye on for a long call option as well, as we got opportunities to get a $500,000 investment if we can put some long leaps on this one. NVIDIA is another great stock for you to buy long term, as we see that the stock is down $104 due to Trump's tariffs. And if we can see this stock fall down even below $100 to even $90 is a perfect grab for this company, as this stock is going to push back to $150 by the end of the year. You definitely want to continue seeing this support getting broken. It's a great sign that this stock is in correction mode. But once it starts to bottom out, the stock is just going to be consistently in bullish engulfing candlesticks towards the upside. Another great stock to have put some call options on as well is Supermicro. I'm liking how it's the bottom that had broke support is currently staying strong around this $30 range, the $40 range. As we see SMCI break out and reverse later towards this month, we see that SMCI is currently down 52% and down $35 in the last 40 days. And we've seen earlier in February, stock broke out from $27 and went up to all the way to $70. So that's in signs that this stock is already done reversed ever since about November 2024. And it started really that uptrend from that huge sell-off it had for about a year, or about 7 months in 2024. Adobe is another great stock. It's one of my favorite graphic design / illustration company that you can have and use. And this stock has a huge opportunity to go up towards the upside, but it's currently been beat up the last year, and it's currently down at least 40% to $257. And you want to continue buying Adobe as it pushes back up towards $800, its all-time high. And we're going to continue loading up on this graphic design company so we can balance our portfolios with some high growth returns and some huge long leaps so we can continue maximizing our return for this company. You already know about Carvana. I've been telling you about Carvana since 2023. This stock has a huge amount of short squeeze interest. The stock already is up back up from being in this correction. Fell down $165 last week, and we've seen it already back at $226. So these life-changing moves in Carvana is great. I want to keep an eye out as we push back up to $300 this year, and actually past its all-time high. I can see it passing its all-time high with some very strong earnings this year, going past about $400. So you want to keep an eye on Carvana and keep buying shares and long leaps on this one. And you know these tariffs won't affect Carvana that much. It's just going to benefit Carvana from them to maximize their profit return off the selling these vehicles. And that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I want to let you guys know that always be preparing your resume, showcasing your skills on your resume. Your resume doesn't fully show the potential that you have. So whatever you put on your resume, you want to make sure that it captures the employer's interest in the 10 to 15 seconds. So whenever you put your resume and you showcase it to an employer, you upload it, you want to make sure you also have a cover letter as well. On your resume with them 3 bullet points, you want to get straight to the point, and you want to use quantitative descriptions, meaning it has numbers and it has data of showing what you did, not only just the task or daily things you did at the job. You want to show numbers like I increased the man of transactions about 15% daily. You know what I'm saying? You want to add numbers. You want to be descriptive. You want to get straight to the point. You want to cut all the extra blah. And you want to make sure that it relates to the job description. Most importantly, the job description is what you're applying for and you're marketing yourself for. So if the job description that you're applying on those 3 dots on that resume doesn't line up to the job description you're applying for, you should cut it out and make sure that the job description is going to match up with your job description that you did at your current job or previous jobs. As well as whenever you do your resume as well too, make sure that you are tailoring your resume to that job description, like I said, by putting your description of what you do and what you are, like a software engineer or chef. Make sure you put that title on beginning of your resume, and it can be like, I'm very passionate about cooking for people that are in the city that like spices in the food or something like that. So make sure you have something to really describe a summary of what your resume is going to be. And after that, put some skills on there. So as a chef, I'm very good at blending different flavors or something like that, or different skills like Microsoft, Word, Outlook. If you're a software engineer, put those skills on the top of your resume. And if you don't have experience, like some people that are looking for a job right now in the job market, always put your education first, because your education is what your experience is going to be. Since you didn't have experience like that, or maybe you didn't have any internships yet, that's okay. You still have opportunity to compete in the job market with the education, because that's going to make you stand out. So go ahead and put them projects that you did in school, those projects where you started your little applications or projects you did in school, and you really learned a lot of skills like Python or designing Adobe or whatever key skills that made you stand out during your projects in school. Go ahead and showcase them on your resume and make sure they line up to that job description, since those can replace the experience at the job. Actually, add more projects. Go ahead and build yourself a portfolio right now. At the end of this video, start building yourself a portfolio of things that you do in your career, so you can start now. In the next 5 years, your portfolio is going to be so full. Employers are going to want to look at it all day. They already know they have your pick. They already know who they need to hire by just looking at your portfolio. So that's why it's important for you to have your portfolio, because even though you may not have the experience, your portfolio can stand and talk for itself. Your portfolio can be the one that's going to be your breadwinner and get you out the hood. So guys, make sure you take all of these things and make sure you build and market yourself in this marketplace right now, because you are marketing yourself. At the end of the day, you are a brand. Your resume is a brand. And that's how employers see you as, is this a brand? How is your brand going to help their business? Not how they help your business. At the end of the day, you always want to make sure your portfolio is up to date, your resume is up to date, and you can continue adding ways to strengthen your resume. But most importantly, your resume can get overlooked if you're not networking. Networking is a great way. You can go ahead, if you're so good at making your own resume and you know your resume is up to date, go ahead, start sending it to your friends, start sending it to new people you meet. New people you meet are willing to help you get to where you want to faster than some people that you already know right now. No people you meet are like angels. They're gonna get you to where you need to, but you don't need to use them. You want to have them help you, but make sure you help them as well, because you can't just use people. No one doesn't like to get leached off of. So make sure you offer things that you can do to other people and the ways that you can help other people grow as well. So go ahead, create you a LinkedIn so you can start your network today and start building your profile with networks. Increase your connection with people, general connections, and share information that you know. Also, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, go to Soulful Academics. Start your free budget today. Make sure you cop the latest merch. I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all enjoyed this video. You're definitely going to like the next one. Yeah.
Faith in the Lord, I never move a mountain. Pray to the Lord, I drop to my knees. He is the way and He is the key. When I'm feeling low, I call out to Thee. For God love the world, 3:16. He is the way, the truth, and the life. Good versus evil, you gotta decipher. Put down the gun and get you a Bible. You got too much pride, you feeling entitled. I stole my money, take a drowning. Men and fools, but with faith I'm never drowning. Life is hard, but it's simple about it. Faith in the Lord, I know He'll move a mountain. I'm starting my living bank accounting. Been in floods, but with faith I'm never drowning. Life is tough on a simple bounding. Faith in the Lord, I know He'll move a mountain.